Hey everyone, it's LockhartQT here and welcome to the video today and another Black Ops 6 one for you guys. And today we're talking about Liberty Falls. Liberty Falls recently has been caught under some tremendous fire from the zombies community as a whole and has been getting hate left, right and centre. People are saying that the map is soulless and lifeless and just is another iteration of multiplayer Warzone and campaign, and it doesn't separate zombies apart. People are even going as far as saying the map is bad. But today I wanted to talk about the fact that personally I'm excited for Black Ops 6 Zombies, I'm excited for Terminus, but more so I'm excited for Liberty Falls, and personally I think the map doesn't look too bad. And in the video today I really wanted to talk about the pros and cons and everything going into Liberty Falls, so let's get right into it. So first off, let's talk about the fact that Liberty Falls at its heart and at its base is a casual friendly map. Liberty Falls is very much a yin-yang situation with Terminus. Terminus is the bigger, more sort of complex map, whereas Liberty Falls is the smaller, casual friendly map. And in my opinion, this approach to zombies really works. With something like Black Ops 4, for example, Black Ops 4 launched with pretty much 4 complex maps. I'd argue and say Classified is a bit more casual friendly, however Voyage of Despair, 9 as well as Blood of the Dead, more so Voyage and Blood, were very complex and it turned a lot of people off immediately. That and obviously all of the launch issues with Black Ops 4 and the bugs and glitches and all the rest of it. Black Ops 3 then launched with Shadows of Evil and The Giant. Shadows of Evil, this big complex map, and The Giant, a remake of Deriza from World at War, being the more casual friendly experience. And again, even looking at Black Ops 2, Transit and Nuketown Zombies, very much in the same sort of vein. So in my opinion, Zombies works really well when you've got a really complex map such as Terminus and a casual friendly map such as Liberty Falls. In terms of map size and features, Liberty Falls is a bit more simplistic and sparse when it comes to, everything on the map itself compared to Terminus. And personally, I mean, from looking at the gameplay and trying to be a bit more positive really, I don't think Liberty Falls looks that bad. I actually think it looks quite decent. I do think, however, that Liberty Falls is going to be the sort of map that you go to, for like camo grinding and when you want to sort of just switch your brain off and just train. Because a lot of the areas from the gameplay actually look, especially in the streets, look very open, and I'm not going to lie, I'm calling it now. I think Liberty Falls is going to be a piss easy map. I think it's going to be very easy. I think it's going to be easier than D Machina, but again, we're going to have to wait and see. But there is some good news and a bit of a silver lining to this. If you guys aren't happy with what you've seen so far from Black Ops 6 Zombies and Liberty Falls and Terminus, well, we are getting a third map, being the first DLC seasonal map, coming in 2024. This was actually confirmed by Kevin Drew during the COD Next livestream. He specifically said the first map will come out before the end of the new year, so by the start of the new year, meaning that the first DLC map is most likely coming out in either late November or December. I'd wager sort of December, as we have had zombie maps that have come out in December and January before, so it does make sense. And this really leads me on to the theory that I really do think for Black Ops 6 we're going to get a return to 4 DLC maps, because if you guys remember, with Cold War we only got 3 DLC maps, being Firebase Z, Mauer der Toten and Forsaken. And yeah, we did get Outbreak, but that's a slightly different thing. But again, I've seen a lot of people comparing Black Ops 6 to Black Ops 3. I mean, at the end of the day, Black Ops 3 is the best iteration of zombies, and it is the gold standard. It is the peak of the zombies community. Not only have you got, in my opinion, the best map that's ever released for zombies, being Shadows of Evil, but you've got The Giant, which was a fantastic remake. You've got Gorod Krovi, Revelations, Dead Eisendrache, as well as Zombie Chronicles, being one of the best remastered map packs of all time. And not only that, it's one of the best selling map packs of all time when on the PlayStation Network. So for me personally, Black Ops 3 is the best game. And I think Black Ops 6, it's 3 games later. Obviously, a lot has changed. I mean, since Black Ops 3, we've had things like weapon kits and sort of loadouts at round 1, meaning that you can literally go round 1 with a shotgun, for example. We've got things like the exfil system, the Rampage Inducer, as well as an entirely new cinematic universe in terms of the Dark Ether storyline. But it's funny when you compare Terminus and Liberty Falls to the maps of old, because I remember, I mean, I've been here since Nacta and Toten in the zombies community. I remember back in the day, people were absolutely slating Shadows of Evil when it got released. People had been waiting for zombies for a while, and after hearing that this zombies map had the most amount of dev time at the time out of any zombies map previously, people were hyped. And people didn't know what to expect after the cliffhanger ending of Origins, where, you saw the kids in the bedroom. So after that, when Shadows of Evil was, revealed in that trailer, where we got things like the Margwa, the parasites, the squids, everything, people didn't know what to expect. And people at the time didn't know that it was actually taking place in the Ether storyline, because people were thinking, especially the casual audience, were thinking that Shadows of Evil was its own beast, its own entity, separate from the Giant, for example. And it wasn't until obviously you complete the Easter egg and you see Richtofen in all of his glory nicking the summoning key at the end there, that you realise that Shadows of Evil was amazing. I mean, Shadows of Evil wasn't perfect at launch actually, it was quite, a bit of a decisive map until it had a few key updates which changed things like the fact that you could hold all 4 gate worms, is that what they were called? I can't remember, it's been a while since I played Shadows of Evil, but there was an update that they added where you could hold all 4 gate worms at once in solo and things like that, so you didn't have to do them individually, and it just had loads of quality of life updates to it. And yes, on screen are actually some of the comments that were on the Shadows of Evil trailer back in sort of 2015, and a lot of people were hating on the map purely for the fact that it had squids and what they thought were aliens and all the rest of it, and they were saying this isn't zombies. But in the end, Shadows of Evil turned out to be one of the best zombies experiences of all time. And going to the other end of the spectrum, after Moon, which in my opinion is probably the best cliffhanger, the best ending COD Zombies has ever had to a map, just purely because of how shocking it was, people were hyped for the next map, seeing that it was taking place on Earth after we've destroyed the, different parts of the Earth with the rockets from the moon. People were hyped for Transit, and in fact people were so hyped with Transit, but then sadly the map came out and it's one of the worst maps ever made. Transit, suffered from obviously being on the 360 and the PS3 and dev time, and it had too many chefs in the kitchen and whatnot. Transit had so many issues, and sadly it turned out the way it did. But where am I going with all of this? Well, in my opinion, I think people have really got to wait to sort of make a final judgment until we actually get our hands on Liberty Falls. I mean, for content creators, obviously it's a little bit different because they have played a version of it. However, they still haven't played the final release. Not only are things probably going to change in terms of quality of life features and bug fixes and things like that, but like I said, entire areas of the map, Easter egg steps and more were completely cut off at COD Next, meaning that they could not play them because of spoilers. And I think in terms of like the entire zombies community, I really think we've now just got to wait and play the map so we can make a judgment for ourselves. But for me, from what we've seen so far, I quite like Liberty Falls. I mean, again, from what I've seen, I haven't played it, but purely from what I've seen, I think it's alright. Again, I think this is going to be the map that you sort of grind camos on and maybe just switch your brain off and have a good time, similar to like Die Maschine, which is fine. I mean, every so often I like to have a zombies map that's a bit more simplistic. I really do think Terminus is going to scratch that itch, where it's going to be very much more like maps like Horizon, Origins, Mob of the Dead and Shadows of Evil, where it's going to be this big, sprawling, complex map. And especially we've got all of the quality of life features inside of Black Ops 6, such as exfil, the rampage inducer. On top of that, you've got the save and quit feature in solo and many more, and the fact they're bringing back gobblegums. I really do think Black Ops 6 Zombies, I think Treyarch have been cooking. I mean, this is one of the highest dev times in a Call of Duty, specifically for zombies as well, and I really do think this game is going to be good. Now, next up, I wanted to address the comments saying that Zombies is now just a clone of multiplayer and Warzone. And I think for Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, other than the final boss fight in the final Aether Rift, which looked amazing, and it's really sad because no one's actually going to play that area, and one of the best boss fights Call of Duty Zombies has ever seen, because a lot of people just haven't played MW3 Zombies like myself, because, it's MW3 Zombies at the end of the day. But I think that Zombies is an interesting one. I think they've taken the Dark Ether and obviously made it sort of canon to the campaign. However, I think Black Ops 6 is a really interesting sort of chance for Treyarch now to branch zombies off again. For me, zombies always worked as its own separate thing. I mean, obviously zombies started out as an extension of sort of the campaign and multiplayer in World at War, being the end credits scene to the campaign and being that secret bonus unlockable level. However, I do think zombies has excelled because, for example, you have Black Ops 2, for example, which takes place in 2025, and then zombies itself takes place all over the place. You've got a western town underground, you've got World War I with giant robots, and then you've also got a 1920s prison in Alcatraz. And I think zombies really works when it's jumping time periods and different themings, such as ancient Greece with ancient evil, the Titanic. I think zombies has always excelled in terms of pure art aesthetic and, you know, keeping interest in the story by jumping to different themings as well as time periods. However, I don't mind the fact that, you know, both of these maps take place chronologically at the exact same time. I mean, if you look at both of the maps, you've got two starkly different maps. You've got a sort of jungle prison island off the Pacific Ocean in Asia, which has got, you know, tentacle traps, giant tentacles popping out of the water, lush jungle environments, caves, as well as a secret underground facility, as well as a prison up top. Terminus seems to be a combination of like Zetsubo no Shima and Mob of the Dead, which is quite interesting, with maybe a splash of Call of the Dead and Shinonuma in there. And then on the other hand, Liberty Falls is this old American sort of really small town in West Virginia. And as we saw in the trailer, they are sort of putting in things to add a bit of soul back to zombies. For example, you've got the superhero trap where you've got the, was it supervillain? I actually don't know, but you've got the sort of the female shooting the, I guess like laser eyes out of her eyes, which again is a really cool trap. I think it's one of the cooler traps we've had in zombies, to be honest. Not only that, but apparently there's rumours that you can play bowling matches in the bowling alley, as well as, I think it with Liberty Falls, if they really focus on the individual shops and maybe the more Americana aspect of it being this small American town, then I think the map will really excel, because you guys have to remember we're also getting specific side quests from the sort of denizens and the people that live, the citizens rather, in Liberty Falls. We're getting them offering us the side quests, meaning that we might get the owner of the fried chicken shop or the motel or the bowling alley giving us side quests. Not only that, but like I said earlier, Liberty Falls does feature the Dark Ether. If you go into the church, you're treated to this amazing skybox, floating elements, as well as the sort of glowing plant life and the purple crystals and purple skybox everywhere. And in my opinion, the Dark Ether looks fantastic. However, I think they really do need to do more of it. And I do think this is now Treyarch's chance to sort of bring back story elements from the Ether storyline. Because if you guys don't know, in the end of Black Ops 4, everything is sent into the Dark Ether. And we've seen remnants of that in the Dark Ether storyline. Things like the Pack-a-Punch machine featuring older elements and older parts from the old Pack-a-Punch machine, as well as things like the Wunderfizz machine, for example. So what if, going forward, to sort of spice up zombies, you know, past Liberty Falls at this point in the DLC, maybe we could see different elements from the Ether storyline, as well as maybe map locations or map areas coming back. Again, I'm not asking for remasters or remakes, because in my opinion we've had enough of those. I do think they need to have, you know, pretty much entirely new maps, but maybe having one tiny little area from Transit, or one tiny little area from Buried, for example, coming back, but it's in the Dark Ether, and it's explained in the story that it's in the Dark Ether and it's been flung into there, and now it's sort of leaking into the current universe. I think that would be a really excellent explanation of it. But in my opinion, guys, Liberty Falls does not look that bad. I think it's a very open map. Yes, it's going to be a very easy map, as well as it's going to be great for, you know, a casual audience. And in my opinion, for zombies, in order for the mode to grow, it does need to feature some elements which are going to be casual friendly. Not every map has to be a Voyage of Despair, where it's like really difficult and it's really frustrating to play, where casual players can't get past round 15. You need the odd map here or there that's very easy, and I think that's fine, because if you can create a map like the Giant, for example, which is very easy as well as being sort of very fun to play, then it's the best of both worlds, because not only do you get the casual audience, you know, those who play Warzone and multiplayer just playing the map, but then you also get the zombies fans, the veterans coming back to play the map over and over again. I still play maps like Nuketown Zombies and the Giant once a year because I really do like those maps. I like pretty much every zombies map, to be honest. However, there are a handful that I don't like, such as Duranfong, Transit, Voyage. But yeah, I do think we really have to stop and think here. I think as a zombies community, we've really got to realise that we're not getting Black Ops 3 ever again, and if you want to go play Black Ops 3, play Black Ops 3. It's brilliant on PC, and I'd argue and say that Black Ops 3 on PC is currently the best way to play it with custom zombies. I mean, we're getting remasters and remakes of Transit, Die Rise, Buried. There's even a fully functioning Mob of the Dead remastered on Black Ops 3, as well as many other things. And if you want to go play Black Ops 3, play Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 6 is not Black Ops 3, and I think a lot of people have got to realise that. And although I agree things like the HUD and the UI and certain elements of the sort of art direction, I think really need to be spiced up. I think if they could give us legacy options, like proper legacy options, where we actually get, like, for example, the Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2 HUD, where it's pretty much identical with like the blood splatter in the bottom corner, that would be great. But I think we've also got to be realistic here and realise that I think that a lot of these features that we're sort of begging for, things like people asking for the Victor's crew to come back, it just isn't going to happen. At the end of the day, Cold War was a reboot. It rebooted us into the Dark Ether universe, and although the Dark Ether universe isn't perfect, I still enjoyed Cold War. I mean, a lot of people comparing Liberty Falls, just saying, oh, it's just another Cold War. Cold War wasn't bad. I mean, in my opinion, the only sort of bad map in Cold War is probably Firebase C. I really love D Machina, I like Mauer de Toten, and I like Forsaken. And Outbreak, it was a bit meh because it's not my cup of tea. But then even going into sort of Vanguard and MW3, there are some elements to those where you've got the characters in Vanguard, for example, as well as, you know, some of the Easter egg steps in Shinonuma Reborn, as well as some of these sort of Dark Ether riffs in MW3. You can definitely still see that Treyarch are trying to put some element of life and soul into the series. However, I do agree with people when they say we need to see more of this. And like I said earlier, now is Treyarch's time to really come forward and give us an absolute banger of zombies. They've got all the elements there, they've got all the ingredients there, they've got Gobblegums coming back, they've got weapon kits and loadouts coming back, Exfil, Rampage Inducer, all of these fan favourite features returning from Cold War, as well as things like, you know, the classic perks, PhD, Juggernog, Quick Revive, etc. And all they need to do now is just make both the story and the overall maps more interesting. I do agree saying that the Dark Ether storyline has been quite boring so far compared to the Ether storyline of old. And I do think that in Black Ops 6, the fact that they've reintroduced Eddie Richtofen and Samantha, I really do think we're going to see an absolute banger here. And again, this could be famous last words, and I'm more than willing to eat my humble pie and apologise if I'm wrong. But at the same time, I do think Treyarch have been cooking with Black Ops 6, and I'm really excited to see, because from what I've seen so far with both Terminus and Liberty Falls, I have been impressed. So everyone, thank you so much for watching the video today. Hopefully it's been a bit more of a positive one, because I do understand there's been a lot of hate towards zombies recently, and I do disagree with a lot of people saying that this is the worst map of all time in terms of Liberty Falls, as it is just not. I think Liberty Falls is going to be quite fun, and I think people have got to remember that maps like Shadows of Evil and Der Eisendrache and other maps were hated before they came out and then turned out to be fantastic. And I think if we give Treyarch the benefit of the doubt and a bit of time, I do think that this will be a great mode. I mean, you guys have to remember, Jason Blundell and other key developers at Treyarch are no longer there. This is a sort of relatively sort of half and half new team and half an old team. There are some developers that have been there since World at War, however there are developers that have only just been there since Black Ops 6, so I think we've really got to give them the benefit of the doubt and see what they can do here. as I do think within all of the talent of Treyarch, I really do think that they can do something great here. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching the video today. For more Black Ops 6 Zombies content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And if you guys want to watch my coverage of World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 maps, I've got a Zombies retrospective series on the channel if you guys want to go watch that. Thank you so much for watching the video today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Thank you.